What's up? What's up? You guys there? Hello. Hello. Nice to see you. Let me get my headphones on. All right. So nice to see all of you at my last live stream. That was fun. It was nice to see how you guys visited. That was fun. What's up, Wallace? What's up, KK? Dan, whoever else is in the chat. We'll catch up with you in a minute. So that was fun the other night. Let's see what's going on in Twitter world. President Trump has been lighting up the airwaves. Let's see what kind of tweets he might be putting out. Oh, yeah. James Comey is a piece of shit. Yes. Yeah, he is. He most certainly is. Yes. Indeed. All right. Let's see what El Presidente be talking about. 45th President of the United States. When's the last time he tweeted something? Not terribly long ago. It's like, terribly long ago, actually. Like 5 hours. No, I'm not going to read those. Pretty much, he's been the hammer. They've been the nail. And he's been delivering the message. It's been quite good. You know, there's things that he does quite well. He's a phenomenal hammer. The media is a fantastic nail. We like to watch. I think people like to watch President Trump hit the nail on the head with the hammer. I think it's something I like to watch. I think you do too. I think so too. Let's see if there's any new Q drops. Any new Q drops out on the horizon? Yeah, there's actually a whole freaking shitload of them to be on. Oh my! Ask and ye shall receive. Oh my God, you guys! There's a whole bunch. All right. Well, I guess the live stream just got real. There's a whole bunch of Q drops. Oh my God! There's so many. Oh my gosh, you guys! There's so many Q drops. All right, let's freshen up our drinks. Let's get some more oxygen into my head. Let's do this. Holy cow! There is a whole. You guys, there's seriously a whole bunch of new Q drops. And there's a whole bunch earlier. So, all right. Well, okay. We'll come to them in a second. There's so many. Oh my gosh, there's like a picture of Obama with Michelle Obama. And he's looking very much like he loves Islam and hates America. That's how I can describe this photo. Yeah, this is, it's almost assuredly, my friends, coming out. Comey, the information on Comey is coming out. The Gang of Eight, which involves Adam Schiff and also Devin Nunes, which Devin Nunes is a good guy and wrote the correct assessment of what was going on in the reports for the Russia investigation versus Adam Schiff, who wrote the, very wrong things in the investigation that have, they're not only proving to be untrue, they are proving to be completely fabricated, thereby treason. Treason is a very, very real word that people need to get used to. It's coming very much for a lot of people. And as much as people are starting to awaken, which I think is great, when you start thinking about the consequences of treason, you're talking about capital punishment. And I'm okay with that. especially under the circumstances of why these people would be held in the high regard of treasonous, seditious bastards. As we label them that way, we continue on to see how those in corrupt positions of authority and power would cover for the people who were of this treasonous nature. And it mostly revolved around child trafficking, child and women trafficking. I mean, most weren't looking for men unless they were little boys, but the majority was women trafficking and child trafficking. And it's very much at the forefront of what this entire takedown of the deep state has to do with. So when you hear about the people like Lisa Page, who tweets that everything is fine, she's just tweeting away. These are people you can forget, I guess, for a second and say that, you know what? These were the people that were only in charge of looking over Trump, so therefore they should only be judged on that bullshit. These people all, on every level, cover for each other in a grand maximum effort to cover for all of the corruption, all of the bullshit. It all spider webs into each other. And even though it's not directly correlated in your everyday lives, it all relies on the sum of the parts it's made of. I made that point the other night. But really, it's every faction that comes together and becomes a part of this global net, this global web. And these are things that we've been shown. These are things that have obviously and clearly been shown to us, and they'll be diagnosed. People in the future, in future studies, will look at the connections globally, and they'll see how these companies all infiltrated within each other, and they'll see how they correlated within the Clinton Foundation and all of the donations. This will be deconstructed for the world to see eventually. You're getting a little glimpse of it by being a follower of Q and understanding what's being shown. And these are the things that are being shown. We're at a very critical time right now, my friends, in what we're witnessing within the Great Awakening. Many people are actually starting to wake up. I think it's very important. When you look at some of your great truth channels that you follow, you're probably noticing that there's subscriber lists and base is going up. I've noticed it considerably in some of the channels that I watch. And I think that's very positive, and it's a great, great thing. Many are waking up, you guys. I think we're a lot closer to maybe the ends that justify how we got to here than we think. I'm not completely saying that. I think that this absolutely has to be fully exposed before we get into the actual election cycle of 2020. I think that people need to know exactly what they're going up against. The good news is that so many people are awake right now. So many people are awake to what we're going through. So many people are wide awake to what we're going through. And those that aren't are at least starting to scratch their heads. And they're saying, "What? This just doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense at all." And you know what? For the first time in their life, they're right. You're absolutely right. It doesn't make any sense. So let me help you put it back together, and you start to build them into the Great Awakening. No reason to pummel anybody. At this point, what we've been told and shown is that it's impossible to stop what's coming. So really, how much more damage you decide to put yourself through to try to awaken people is up to you. We've passed the point of no return when it comes to getting the truth out. Nothing can stop what's coming. So if you want to continue to put yourself out there to sharpen your skills, steel sharpens steel. So if you're doing that to sharpen yourself, I get that, especially if you're in control of the conversation and just saying, let me dip my toe in here and talk a little bit with somebody and say, what do you know? Um, that can be fun at times too. Um, but I think the bigger point is that I'm not sure that's completely necessary to do to actually put yourself through that willingly anymore. I think we're past that, and to the point that you said, we're past the point of needing to prove what we are and what we've been showing. We're past the point of all that, and to that I say, yeah, absolutely, you're right. They are. I didn't ask for it, but somebody did, and Q answered, and I agreed. And I said, yeah, we're absolutely past the point of needing that kind of proof. Anybody to jump through any kind of hoops or any of this kind of stuff, we're so far past that, it's not even funny. We've been mathematically and statistically past this point of no return for probably, and I'm spitballing this, I have no idea, I didn't research it, but probably at least a year and a half. No, we're watching a movie. This is what it is. You can listen to all your little scare tactic people that have YouTube channels and look to all this kind of stuff and listen to them. And you know what? Some of them are real good at being afraid. Do you know why? Because they're pussies. Or they're bought. Or they're bought pussies. Either way, I don't care. I think it's a disservice to not report the truth and to buy into a false narrative and to allow money to guide the direction of your fear gauge. Because why else would you be dumb enough to put the dumbass shit you put on your channels? Which I guess you're trying to get to some percentage of people that are just not completely. I don't know. It's amazing. It's amazing. I can tell you one thing. I don't watch those channels. I know who they are. I know exactly what they are. And I don't watch them. Not because they're bad people. Maybe they're not. Maybe they're actually decent people that are just playing along with their own thing. But the message that's coming out is wrong. And a lot of these people are too smart to not realize that what they're saying is wrong. Thereby, it makes them compromised. Again, that word unfortunately works for so many things as we move forward into the future. It works so well. So we've been watching the Trump daily briefings. They've taken a significant turn. I've loved it. He's turned it into less. The tone has changed. I think that the deep state has given up on the fact that they cannot turn this into an 8-month pandemic, and that's good. That's real good, because that's what they wanted. And some of them still want it, and they want to turn it actually into a year or two pandemic, but that's not going to happen. Trump team was well in front of the spin of what was going to happen. They knew they had the puppets and Dr. Birx and Dr. Fauci that were going to come out. They knew it. They embraced them. They absolutely embraced them. They embraced them. They prompted them. They asked them to speak openly and freely and kept them on a very tight leash. But not by being threatening. The plan is crazy good. It's going on, you guys. Now, listen, I think a lot of you do believe the plan, and I do. I do. I'm here to tell you right now. I am all in. I'm pushing all in. I am in on it. I don't care. I don't care who comes out and says, I just can't follow it anymore, Bill. I can't follow it anymore. You know what? We can part and be friends. I'm good with it. I'm all in. And we can part and be friends. I'm totally good with it. This shit is really, honestly, what we're being shown. It is. This is the systematic destruction of the old guard. Trump has already taken over the Federal Reserve, taken it over just like he said he would, and just like I reported he would when he hung the picture of Andrew Jackson on the Oval Office wall. It was a message to the deep state. Your days are numbered. And you know what? They were numbered, and they are numbered. And they've been numbered from the day he got in. And the Federal Reserve is now run by your president of the United States. By default, it's run by us, which means a whole lot of beautiful, good things for us, you guys. You're not going to believe how incredible the next 7, 8, 10 years, 20, 50 years are going to be for you and your children as we move forward. And as we go into this next election cycle, we have to, number one, put President Trump back in for another 4 years. That's a no-brainer, and that's going to happen. We also have to give him a majority in the Senate, which I believe will continue and happen. If we can get him like 7 or 8 additional seats than what we have now, he will have a supermajority within the Senate. That's a beautiful thing when you're trying to get things pushed through. And then, of course, we have to get the majority back in the House of Representatives with the congressmen and women. We have to get a Republican majority. And if we can do that in November, you guys, it will secure the future in the correct direction for many, for the rest of humanity, unless somebody fucks up and lets them steal it away, like we almost let them do until Trump came along. Had Trump not been in, oh my God, forget it. We'd have been at war with North Korea. We'd have almost been at war, or maybe been at war with Russia and Iran. Definitely would have had their nuclear capabilities going up. It would have been a horror show. And our military was falling apart. And it just kills me that people can just stand behind it and not look at that and go, yeah, the USA still sucks. And it's like the blind, deaf, muted sheep that run around my country, I am appalled by. They don't understand the only thing that's going to bail their ass out are awake, patriotic, and mostly Republicans. But some Democrats are coming along. But they're not going to realize that shit until 10 years from now. And to you, I say, you're welcome, fucker. I mean, why can't you just wake up now? I'm so sick of dragging your fat bacon ass eating, always bitching ass. Just, you get what I'm saying. So sick of carrying people emotionally, man. I'm so sick of it. And I'm not saying I hate mankind. I love mankind, of course. But, man, some people just really irritate the fuck out of me. And those are those types that do. They really are. What's up, Nizawa? And Wallace. And who? Marco Delgado. My name, Marco Delgado Holmes. What's your name? That's a cool name. I like it. What's up, Food Stamp? Oh, I haven't read the chat at all. So let's see what you guys are doing. Oh, yeah. 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 I think I'm going to shave tomorrow. I'm going to get a good shave on. And then I'll look 15 years younger than I am. So it's good. It's real good. Thanks for coming so late, you guys. I didn't really plan on going live, and then I just got a wild hair up my behind, and I said, I'm going to go late. What's up, Headless Horseman? Nice to see you, my friend. Move it to the top. Yeah. So just going on. Just kind of riffing, just riffing. Not much, man. Not much, Headless. Just riffing, baby. Just getting out here and getting some of my feels out on the internet. I've gotten a few of them out tonight. I'm not all that unhappy with what I've said. I think it's all right. I think it's pertinent. Anytime that I wonder about that kind of stuff, I have to tell myself that I think there's somebody that's less asleep than me that might hear this and say, you know what, that makes sense. This guy might know something. And then they awake, or they start to awake, or they start to look into stuff. So the day that I feel like I'm not that way, I guess will be the last day that I post a video, or, probably post a video. I comment on videos the rest of my life. There's no doubt, but there'll be a day I have to cut these out. So I don't know when that's going to be, but I'm glad people are waking up. I love it that they are. It's really been amazing. Tell you the truth, it's been incredible, to be honest, going through not just the last few years, but really the last couple weeks. I've witnessed some things that, they're not earth shattering, they're not anything, but I've shared a couple things with you. Like I told you that my parents told me that they're going to vote for Trump, and it's the first time in my parents' life, who are in their 70s, are ever going to vote for Republican. And that's because of me. And I don't mean that to get any claps or any of that kind of stuff. But I worked on getting them the information. I've shared their stories many times. I've told you how I banged my head against the wall, wanted to run my head through the wall talking to my dad. It's difficult, man, to wake somebody up that is dialed in and brainwashed by CNN, MSNBC, and a lot of the pundits. It's super difficult. And I recognize that, honestly, beyond my parents, with so many different people. When people say TDS, Trump derangement syndrome, and they say, oh, it's just funny. You know what? That shit's real. It's legit real. And it does not matter what kind of information you can personally remember or spew or talk about or any of this. That shit does not matter to some people. Trump derangement syndrome is 100% real. And it's not even his fault. It's the fault of the media. They're the ones that made it into that. I mean, I have so many people that say, I don't like Trump. I don't like Trump. Or a lot of people go, Trump's my president. I love Trump. And someone will ask me, Bill, what do you think of Trump? And what I tell them is that, what I tell them is I didn't really care about him one way or another. I didn't follow him. I didn't watch any of his shows, the Apprentice stuff, the celebrity stuff with the Apprentice. I didn't watch any of that shit. To me, that was just diarrhea salad for people to ingest. I was in the process of trying to awaken, and I just looked at him as like a charismatic, really super rich guy that was doing a show. No, I didn't start liking Donald Trump until he decided that he was going to run for president. And when he decided he was going to run for president, that man started opening his mouth in a way that resonated in my eardrums to this day. That man spoke truth. There was power in his wisdom and his truth. And as a man that's grown up my entire life and said, listen, I'm a sinner, but God, if I can ask you for one thing to give me, please give me wisdom and give me discernment, and let me just go through life and go through it and just understand things, Lord. I think God delivered that to me at an early age. Not bragging. It's been a blessing and a curse, but mostly a blessing, especially as I've gotten to know Mr. Donald Trump, because it's been good. He's not a perfect dude. No. That's why I like him. He likes hot, skanky women that are ex-porno stars. That's his thing. He did it one time. It actually turns out she came out and said that it didn't happen. I don't know what that's about, but either way, it was kind of like that surprised nobody because it was Donald Trump. I mean, he was on the cover of Playboy and shit. He was single forever. He's had some kids, you know. I mean, Donald Trump being a Playboy surprised nobody. Nobody except for the outraged left politicians and the left pundits from the from the Democratic media, the left stream media. They were terrible. And now we get to today. I mean, you guys look at it. Man, you know what's crazy? I look at right now where we're at. We're about to go into the election cycle for Trump, into the 2020 election. And I feel like I punched in to work a shift about 4 years ago to support Donald Trump, and I still ain't punched out. It's like this has been one long ass shift, and we're still going. We're still going. We're still going. And it's worth it. And it's so right on. The information we're getting is so right on. We have crested the top of the roller coaster and are on the down slope. Does that mean that we're almost done and finished? No. It means that we've fought through maybe perhaps the hardest part of this. And the rest of this moving forward is just going to be, you know, triage. We're going to have to clean up some shit as we go through and finish this off. There's going to be some triage. I think that's what we got. I think that's what we got. Thanks, Holly. I appreciate that. I'm not sure what that means, but you said Selah. Well, Selah. Is that like C'est la vie? C'est la vie, c'est la vie. That's right. Meow, 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 meow. C'est la vie, c'est la vie. I got my black girl going. That's right, Osaka. That's right, Osaka. I don't even know how that song goes, to be honest. All right, Holly, I will. You're not here but watching. Who's all here? 6 y'all. All right. Well, Lord, I was born a rambling man, and I definitely know I've done some rambling. I hope you guys have, you know, I don't know. Thank you for coming. Thank you. I appreciate you all. And as I give my parting comments, what I would want to say is that I hope you guys are really ready for what we're about to witness. I don't want to set dates. I don't want to do any of that kind of shit. But guys, this is coming. Like soon. All this stuff with Flynn is being allowed to drag out for the next few days, however long it's going to go, the next few days. They're going to undress this thing to everybody until the MSN has to cover it. Eventually, they're going to have to cover it. And maybe they won't. But I go back to what I was saying the other night, is that now you have to find your voice in whatever capacity it is. And you can't let these moments go by. If you have an opportunity to put your support in the direction of the movement of exposing this deep state in any way, in shape, or form, you have to do it. You have to figure it out. I don't care if it means you retweet a video, share it on Twitter, retweet a million things that you see that you support on Twitter. Put your voice out there. Put your name to it. Believe in it. Put your name on it and retweet it. Get it out there. We're there. We're there right now. We're there. We're there. Very much so. All right. So God bless you all. Now I know I was on the other night and I actually forgot to put in a prayer for one of our beloved that coincidentally got her surgery canceled. I'm not big on putting out prayers on my stream, but I'm going to do it tonight. And I'm just going to pray for you guys, to pray for KK for her upcoming procedure, whenever that gets rescheduled to, and just pray for really, really, really good, steady hands and awesome things to happen. Okay. And just claim it. And on top of that, claim all the beautiful things that are coming in the Great Awakening, in the plan. It's coming. Yeah. Guys, people might look at me in 50 years and see this video and go, that dude was crazy. But they might say that, and then they might also go, that guy was crazy, correct. Like on a level where it's just, that's what was happening. And that's not me. I mean, they wouldn't say that and say that that's that guy. That's me going, this is what the plan's telling me. I mean, I'm not the guy. I'm looking at the plan. I'm looking at the information. I'm looking at the Q drops. I'm looking at all of it. I'm listening to people. I'm watching the reaction from the deep state. I'm watching the reaction from the mainstream television, all of it. I'm watching how the president reacts. I watch how he's tearing them down. I watch how the shift in this pandemic has switched into the favor of the president. I am watching all of this as you are, and the pendulum has swung. Adam Schiff is in sheer panic. The deep state is in sheer panic. There's really, really nothing stopping from. It almost feels like the next piece of information could really just open the dam. We already know that the federal indictments have been unsealed and they're coming. We don't exactly know who yet. There's been speculation that they will be released on Sunday, the 1st, and on Monday, the 2nd. Who knows? Who knows? That's all speculation. It's all bullshit. What we do know is that we're very much at this point in time in the plan where the shit should start coming out. And I'm very excited. And I'm not too much of a sissy to admit to you that a little earlier today, I caught myself sitting there quietly, having a moment to myself, staring off into the distance, thinking about how all of this comes together and what this means. And I started to think about the pain of the people that are going to wake up to this, who have denied this. And I wasn't thinking about anybody specific, but other than the people that were going to have to do this moving forward. And it honestly glistened my eye. I started to think about the things that they're going to have to actually process in their brain when this comes out. And it's not going to be easy for anybody, even the hardened, the most hardened of you, even me, the most hardened of us. When we actually get the truth, a lot of us will be ready for it. But when we get to it, I mean, that's where people's brains are going to turn off that are just starting to wake up. They're not going to be in it to like actually find out what happened. And some of them will. And, you know, whatever. I know it always sounds like I'm trying to put like everything on a pedestal. I'm not trying to do that at all. I'm just saying that this is not a movie per se, what we're dealing with. Yes, we've been told we're watching a movie from the standpoint of we've got this under control. So yes, we watch the movie, but as people awaken, those are the real emotions that impact how big this is when it's done. And guys, I don't need to go over all the times. I mean, I've listen, the truth about where we're at right now, when you understand, let's just say you understand the basics of how we are where we're at. I mean, it's very difficult when you think about the treason that's involved to put our country where it's at. That's what kills me when I think about this the most. Is I think about, you took the greatest country that was ever created, and in an effort to gain more power within the freest country and the greatest country ever, you are willing to sell everything out for that. And then you start digging down the rabbit hole of what was the power structure of what they started to sell themselves out to, and you see where it goes, and you see how deep it goes, and you start getting into the human trafficking. It's all tied together. And when you put that together, it's just the sickest thing ever. It's going to affect a lot of people when they wake up. They're not going to have a choice. They're going to have you, somebody to try to guide them through it, but it's going to be very difficult on a lot of people. So, Bill, shut up. Anyway, super late, almost 3 a.m. I get it. I'm good. I'm groovy. It was nice seeing you all. Thank you for coming. I appreciate that more than anything. I can't believe it. And I'm sorry I went on so late, but I do appreciate you all coming and hanging out. So I'll go on soon again, maybe this weekend, maybe Saturday night, Sunday night. I'll give you a heads up, whatever. Let's see what's going on, because lots is being exposed, right? Tons. General Flynn, lots. Until I see you soon, have a great night. Don't forget to pray, and always pray for the country and the president. So God bless y'all. Love you. Night.